Where we last left our heroes, after a brief moment of respite in the Wandering Weasel, where Nara got introduced to its patrons and employees, our party set out to attempt to infiltrate Silver Rock. In their travels, they discovered a marching army, so they decided to cut south into the mountains east of Amberglade, the thick hilllands. Cutting through there, they found a tribe of, or a singular troll that seemed to go by the name of Go-Chunk, who Denier masterfully bargained with to go and basically take his tribe and attack the army to the north. To great success, the army did not see the tribe of trolls coming and were basically destroyed in terms of, like, the trolls took out at least a couple hundred men in terms of their combat efficiency. Furthermore, in Denier's attempts to weaken Barristan Kench of Silver Rock, he continuously plagued Kench with nightmares. During one of these nightmares, Denier came face to face with the bleeding god itself. A god that has haunted Denier's nightmares since he was very, very young. After gaining a boost of confidence, Denier told the god what for and continued to torment Kench. Now the party continues on their way through the Hilllands to try to find a good path into the city of Silver Rock.
Down in Silver Rock. Down to Silver Rock. Sorry. I know it's not Fraggle Rock, but it's almost there.
That's close.
So in terms of your travel, as you make your way out of the Hilllands, for the next day of travel, which is going to get you a majority of the way towards Silver Rock, I want each of you to roll me a either a perception check or a stealth check of your choice.
Oh, perception.
No, Nick, I'm tired of you bullying me and telling me what to do always.
I mean, you can choose to do neither, but that's not going to benefit you.
Ah, damn it.
Choose
okay.
death.
Are you Oh my
I will
god.
take stealth.
Wow.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Natural
You sure you don't
one
want to talk
for
about it?
stealth.
I don't want to talk about a natural one for perception. My highest. Did I hit the wrong thing?
Here I go.
You hit the right thing.
It, it's just really
boy.
sad. That's all.
That's a 13 for me.
17 for ASMO.
16 for
Alright.
Denier.
Let me see. Luckily, even though Nara stayed up probably way too late watching the slaughter of the Silver Rock army, and is therefore slightly drowsy and unable to focus, you guys managed to avoid any of the gathering platoons that are seeking to group up with the main army or that are just patrolling the land as you make your way towards the city of Silver Rock, very close to being the kingdom of Silver Rock. In your first day's travel, you make it about here when you start to notice, actually about here, when you notice that the gap between where you recognize the mining colony usually is, you're starting to see some of like the outskirt villages. There are a series of dark stone walls that have been constructed since your exiting of Silver Rock.
How tall?
The nearest ones, the first set of walls, are probably about 30 feet high.
Jeez, they went all out on
How
that.
thick?
Dangerously.
Extra thick.
Dang it! With like 3 feet.
Unrelentingly.
Yeah, unrelentingly thick these walls be.
Dang it!
There's a lot of fun adjectives we can go through. Unyieldingly.
Viciously thick.
Ooh, that's good.
I honestly thought you were gonna
Unfathomably.
say viscously thick, and I was a little more concerned, but never mind.
Not the front walls anyway.
Got it.
The front walls are not super viscous. They are just thick.
Thick.
But you notice that the only entry point, natural entry point, the gate that would lead you past the first little farming village that's just outside the walls, appears to be a very well-fortified gate-like fort. You can see that from about... It's about like 1.5 kilometers to 2 kilometers away from where you are. And between you and there is some small farmland, including, for those of you that were here last, some familiar corn stalks. Just off to your east would be a small, like, settlement of, like, mining shacks where some of the miners would stay on their longer excavations, like if they're going to be out there for a few days.
Just judging by the walls, how thick do the walls look?
You're guessing at least a few, like, at their most narrow point, which is just, like, before the gate itself, probably about 10 feet thick.
And how thick is the ones further away from the gate?
That's what I'm talking about, at their narrowest point.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good God.
The ones at the gate, it's more of like a... from what you can see from where you are, it appears to be kind of like a courtyard. Like, the gate is probably in two mechanisms. The front gates and the rear gate both would need to be open for you to secure entry. It's kind of like a small courtyard fort. Just a little box. I'll mark it on the map as to where this first wall appears. Freehand.
Enhance. Modify. Change the contrast. Flip it up. Check the hubcap. It's in the hubcap.
Your
Oh my god.
gate is like right here where this little nubbin is.
A nubbin.
Yeah.
A nubbin?
And just before the city of Silver Rock itself, between it and the smaller villages, including the little park where you had that issue with Bahoom happen, there's another gate back that way. Those are the two that you can see. The second one seems about maybe 20 to 30 feet taller than the first one.
Well, this looks promising.
How far away are we from the walls?
About 1 kilometer or 2.
All right, now what are we seeing for traffic on the road? I'm guessing with the main gate, what are we seeing for overall amount of people moving to and fro? What's the hustle and bustle of this zone?
For the most part, you have been avoiding platoons of traveling soldiers, either sent out to patrol the land, or people who are, or soldiers that are looking to join up with the main group after message was inevitably sent back last night that they need reinforcements after that troll attack. So it looks like you actually pushed back their battle plans by the amount of travel that you've seen. Further, another thing that you would notice is behind the manor of Silver Rock, at the back east of the city, on a large obelisk, there appears to be a what you would recognize as a cannon, but very large and made out of black, almost volcanic-looking stone. Looks very arcane in nature, but you can't really devise much of it from that.
Nick.
I'll mark where that is.
Nick, have you created a giant laser? I gotta.
You know from the intel that it is meant to deter dragons attacking from the air. So
Is this gonna shoot the whoop? Just wondering.
I want it.
well, first you must get Silver Rock.
All right, I've got a couple game plans. All right, the first wall shouldn't be too hard. Wolfgang, you and I can grab Nara and Asmo, and we can just go right through it, find a weak spot, go right through the wall. Depending on how thick the second wall is, I can probably get through it with limited use of magic, but it's gonna take a doozy to get through the second wall. We could also contact Flix and see if Flix would help us get into the city because we're about to go kill Kench. Those are my ideas.
Flix would probably help us. I don't know if we can
Possibly.
rely on.
Otherwise, we're gonna have to find some other way to get through this.
I don't know.
And I don't think the classic. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to rely on like a big, like cart of hay, and we hide inside it, and they stab at it, and they killed an eater. I would hate that.
You said that strangely.
Oh, I don't want to die.
Aren't there mountains we could go through?
One would believe that they have scouts up there, never leave a side unguarded, except for maybe the side on the cliff. But even then, they probably have a couple of guys looking down and yelling every now and then. This guy said fighting a war. He's not playing.
How many people are out front, Nick?
Make me another perception check, because there is a village between you and the gate itself.
19. I'm waking up.
Yeah, and it's nighttime, so you don't have to rely on your darkened goggles anymore.
Oh, heck yeah.
As you're looking across the field, after a moment of study, you can see that out front of the Fort Light gate, you can see that there are about 6 or so guards standing out front, each standing ready. Also, on top of the wall itself, it looks like there are probably a couple dozen patrolling units wandering across the top. Scattered across the top, you've also noticed with that roll, blending in with the dark stone are some very dark stained ballistae that are primed and ready to fire.
Oh, well, that's not very good.
That's
So
city.
there's some stuff loaded up and kind of ready to shoot us if we just walk up. So, and there's a bunch of guards, like 30-ish or so.
I
Lots
don't
of
think taking
bodies.
out. I don't think taking out some guards and dressing up like them would work either. Unless it would work. But how are you gonna get 4 guards by themselves?
What is a unit makeup looking like?
Lots of the units of Kench seem to be comprised a majority of humans, few half-elves, and some dwarves. That appears to be the makeup, like real kingdoms of men kind of thing in Lord of the Rings speak.
Probably some.
And how is it only guards? No one's coming in or going out, really?
Not since you've been here, no. Like I said, you've avoided a few patrols that have been wandering the lands on your way out here, but not a whole lot. Like, there's definitely no trade convoys coming in this way right now or anything like that.
And it's too much trouble to go around the back, I take it, right?
There's probably walls in the back as well. We lose days. I mean, granted, depending on how long you let me mess with his head, I might be able to end it without us having to lift a blade once.
But how long would
Magic
that take?
feels tricky.
I imagine days.
I don't know if we have that long.
Well, we have to decide on a strategy soon.
Me and Denier can dimension door.
You can
That's the
dimension
first
door
one.
it.
Past the first wall. Take you two. After
Depending on how thick the wall is, I can get us through the second one. They'll know we're coming, but by then,
No, we don't want that. We don't. The element of surprise is more powerful than any spell you could possibly procure. Yeah, we should maintain that no matter what. You know, only go with the opposite if we're left with no options. All right.
What about the villages in front of us? Shouldn't some of those people know about any extra entrances that might be around? They
I
were
don't
here
know
when
if
this
they
was
do.
built, right?
Might be too scared to help us.
that's why I suggest Flix. She's been running reconnaissance, getting folks in and out, running business
Yeah.
with the Fey Runners in Silver Rock.
Another option. This might take a little bit, but hear me out, okay? I'm coming up with a strategy in my brain. Let's say we go to one of these little townships around here. A lot of peasants, a lot of people just, tilling the soil, working everything, minding their own business. Now, these guards, clearly, if something happens in one of these towns, these guards are going to come a-running, right? And make sure everything's all okay. If we create just a small distraction to lure a couple guards,
We can
jump
kill
them and-
all of them.
No, we take their outfits at least.
Oh, okay.
Hell, we could even pay the people. Maybe. Hell, I don't think everyone's a fan of Kench. So if we can find somebody to help us out with that, steal those outfits, and walk through both gates, no problem. Worst case scenario, we dimension door. But at least... Heck, if something happens after we cross the first gate, we can split up.
I don't know. I do worry about entering through the front door. Last time I did that, things did not go well.
Yeah, but you were wearing an outfit that was conspicuous. If you're not wearing one of those, you're not as conspicuous.
I go with
Are we
that.
all
No.
We stroke our chins.
Nara looks over at Asmo and looks back at them and starts also stroking her chin slowly while also looking back and forth.
Oh no, like into the Spider-Verse Spider-Mans.
Yep.
There's a couple problems with their plan, Asmo. Denier
Don't
waves a
like it.
hand in front of his face.
So wear a helmet that doesn't show your face.
You do.
You also have the cloak of incognito.
I'm
You wear that up.
referring to you. Nara
Learn me
can
to
hide
talk.
it. I can hide it. Wolfgang can somewhat hide it.
Shrugs.
Okay. How about
I
the-
mean-
okay.
I could, change you. With magic.
Okay, there we go.
I could do that. If you want.
That's for shifty eyes.
Yeah.
It's a simple, spell where I turn you into a new creature. A new form. Then you won't look like a snake.
And she smiles.
Well, okay. Well, we gotta use everything we have, so I'm open to it.
I could also make us invisible and we can try to sneak through.
We don't know what kind of magic detection they have. They are rather against sorcerers, and certainly there have been attempts in the past. If Flix has already got her fingers in trying to help people get out of Silver Rock, maybe that might be our best bet.
I don't know what a Flix is, but it does sound, good.
It's fine.
Then let's do that.
Denier will cast sending. He will send to Flix. Flix, I hate to reach out to you on such short notice. There's a movement coming in on Kench. Can you get people into the city to take them out?
Short pause. It's been a while, dearie. I could get you in. It'll cost you, though. Meet me at my place. And then somehow a winky face emoticon.
Oh,
Interesting. What does that sound like, Nick?
Ding!
Okay.
She can help us. It's going to cost us, though.
I have money.
What is this Flix like?
She's a sneaky type. She's really good at bypassing magical defenses.
Which is good. That's the Fey Runner's specialty.
She said to meet at her place. Her
That's
place
far. That's far away. How far is that? God, like a day's ride to the south?
Couple hours.
Ugh.
You remember, she lives in the southern highlands of Silver Rock.
Let's head over, I guess. Probably the best strategy we can come up with.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking.
All right.
Plus, if it takes overnight, that gives me another day to mess with Kench.
Yeah, you're liking that too much.
Hey, I'm just trying to make our job easier. Get him unstabled. He's making bad decisions.
Whoops. I still have my paint thing on. Go away. All right. It's a bit darker out now, but there are still some patrols out. As you expected, there are some people kind of patrolling the hilllands to try to make sure that, nobody's trying to get in where they couldn't build a wall. So go ahead and give me either a perception or a stealth check to try to avoid them.
Perception. One
for stealth.
moment. Let me find it. Weep. 22.
The man in white, 18.
10! God damn it!
Yay.
Luckily, all of the guards that you're there are some that you're able to see kind of wandering. They are dressed to kind of blend into their surroundings. So Nara does a very good job of pointing out the ones that you need to avoid, and you avoid most of them very skillfully. Asmo, your lack of stealth at that point is almost unnecessary, as you're just so easily able to avoid these guys, and they don't seem to notice you traveling through the shadows. You arrive where you remember Flix's, the entrance to Flix's house is, or her burrow, I should say. The gnome that lives under hill. As you make your way down into the tunnels.
Nara's gonna flip the veil on. Just to be a human.
What form? Just a human?
Yep.
Simple enough. You become what do you look like as a human?
Short black hair, green eyes, average height.
Alright.
Just a villager from again those angsty teen years.
You make your way through the tunnel, luckily remembering which ways to go to find Flix's home. And one of the things that actually assists you in this is that the code that was written in the sewer system in the rat's nest of Dragon's Rest is very much the same code that she has written on her on the walls to basically make sure anybody who's a friend can find her place. So even though you are, you might be struggling to remember, you look at the walls and you see some of the symbols carved in, and you know which way to go. You eventually find your way to her little round door at the end of the hall.
Daenerys knocks on the door.
The door creaks open, And on the other side of the door stands a very tall, luminescent, blue-skinned man with a big, black, bushy beard. Wolfgang, you instantly kind of get a chill down the back of your neck as he begins reaching for a scimitar. You! Aye, chill out, Zalbar. Bear with me. You may pass. He resheaths his scimitar, just kind of glowers at you for a moment, Wolfgang, as you guys step in.
How is it like? Is his frown like a sideways C? Like just.
He bears a few scars on his flesh, reminiscent of the wounds that you gave to him. This is the djinn that you fought when you were taking the test at Iceforge.
Aha.
Does anyone care to explain?
That's Janie. We kicked each other's asses.
Oh my god. I cannot. I am. Well. Wolfgang, step back. He might kill you in 1 second again.
He rolls his eyes.
Oh god,
in,
natural
make
ones!
Come in, make yourselves at home. Mr. Cuddles is boiling up a pot of tea for you.
Mr. Cuddles.
Mr. Cuddles?
Nope.
A large stuffed bear walks out with a tray of, like, basically tea accoutrement and sets it down on a short table. Everything in here is very short furniture, as Flix herself is a gnome that stands about knee-high to each of you. Thank you, Mr. Cuddles. Ooh. It just nods and goes back and flumps down in the corner.
Nara's gonna flat face and like turn to Asmo and go,
What is happening?
You had to be there for it.
Denier will move over and take a seat.
Luckily, I was given enough time to set all this up. As you look around her space, you can see that much of it is packed and put away into various bags and boxes. And you caught me at a good time, too. I was fixing to leave this little hole.
Probably
Why
a good
would you
idea.
want to leave?
New friend of yours? She looks towards the three of you, Asmo, Wolfgang, Denier.
Very much so.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm Flix. Now, I don't know what these lot told you about me. But frankly, for my business, whenever a tyrannical demagogue sets up round the corner from you about a mile or so from your front door, not best for what I do. So I was going to hightail it out to Wild's Edge and set up somewhere around there for a while.
Last I heard, he's got control of Wild's Edge, too.
Nobody truly has control of Wild's Edge, darling. That's what makes it wild.
So they're giving the illusion he has control of that?
He may have a finger there, but let's just say any finger can be broken if necessary.
I think I like you, Flix. I am Nara.
Pleasure to meet you, Nara.
She puts out a very like strong hand for a handshake.
Flix reaches up and grabs a couple of your fingers. Her tiny hand can't quite grasp your whole hand.
Small gnome fingers.
She pays no attention to it and like shakes the hand with her fingers.
Nice to meet you.
So, you lot are looking to get into Silver Rock? Got business with the old demagogue, do you?
You could say that. I've been messing with him for the last few days. He's
Wonderful.
ticked off some very important people. Somebody
Does he know?
very close to me. Yeah. So, we want to make him disappear. And I've heard from some sources that you and I both know that you've been running reconnaissance, getting things in and out of Silver Rock.
Hey, that I have been. You see, there are some interested parties in there that, let's say, aren't a huge fan of what's been going on over the past few days.
I can imagine.
Doesn't shock me.
What sort of things are they saying?
All sorts of things. But we all know that information has a cost.
What kind?
Monetary. Or favors, if you'll allow that.
I suppose it depends on the amount of money or the favor.
And that depends on the information you're looking for.
Yeah, I guess I was right. You do like her.
Asmo just chuckles to himself, seeing Nara and Flix hit it off.
Now, if I'm to assume that your lot are here, it's probably not out of the hatred of your own hearts. Little goody-goodies like yourselves.
She's just like laughing and looking away.
He's pissed me off a fair bit. I've gotten my revenge on him a couple times, but you're right. Somebody else wants him gone.
You lot don't strike me as assassins, so this must be pretty high up there.
I think I have an idea that might suit your needs, if I
Perhaps
can
you
pull
do.
it off. We've got the ear of the dragons.
Do you know?
What if, say, I were to be able to requisition some land? And all of a sudden, if the land should be turned over to who that's supposed to be turned over to, I think that would be quite the favor.
You know the land I want.
Near points down.
Correct. All of it. Every rock, stone, and clump of dirt. From here to that fucking mouth.
Ah, I see. That takes some doing.
I heard rumors. Down south.
I imagine you have.
Word travels quickly when you got access to the Nexus. Is it true?
Oh.
Does the city no longer stand?
Part of it still stands. Most of it is ash.
Did an old gnome happen to make it out of there? The prison.
That I can't tell you. You got a name?
Boswinkle.
That I can't tell you, but I can look into it. Unfortunately, during the situation, I was in the castle when it came down. So I couldn't tell you what was happening in the dungeons.
I'll just have to keep up hopes then. Now, I can't just go doing this just on the hope that you'll get it done for me.
Oh, are you sure?
Let's
Come on,
just say I'm
Flix.
gonna
We
need
go
a
way,
little
we
bit.
go, we go way back. Remember?
Oh, that we do, and we made a perfect trade back then as well. And I'd hate to put some shade on such a wonderful business arrangement that we have. So if I'm going to do this for you, if I'm going to get you in there, I'm going to need some form of down payment.
Would not the killing of Kench be the down payment?
I don't
Otherwise,
give a
this land
shite
is
what
not
happens
usable
to
for
him.
you.
Do you know
Sorry.
do you know how long I live, dearie? I'll be alive centuries after he's bit the dust.
Hmm.
What's another, few decades of waiting? Eventually someone will get sick of him and put him in his place anyway.
Fair point.
But if you want to make that happen quicker, and you want my help getting in there, then you have to pay.
So, what are you looking for? Are you looking for something specific?
Not really, no. I mean, we could always go for gold, but based on what you're carrying, it doesn't look like you got big old fat sacks of it.
I'm like looking through my notes here, see what I have.
Yeah.
What sort of an amount would be enough for you?
Risk life and limb, get you on the inside.
How about a magical weapon?
Asmo looks at her dead ass. Just
My ass is perfectly alive, thank you.
no, I said that.
Just
No,
sagging
Nick,
about
that
the
wasn't
block.
role play. I didn't talk like Smoker.
What kind of weapon?
Asmo pulls out fire end out of his pocket and flips it in the air with it still in the hilt. Hands it, hands the handle to her.
Take a look, tell me if it's worth it for you.
Fine elvish make.
Now you see how it stabs, especially if you... Especially.
She pulls
If it strikes.
a looking glass monocle up to her eye. It kind of glows a little bit.
To be fair, someone tried to murder me after I got this. And I murdered him. And, yeah, actually, Nara can confirm that.
Hmm.
Well, then neither of your lives must have been worth that much.
Hmm.
Oh, you wound me with your honesty once again, Flix.
But we'll leave it on the table if you have anything else. Sets it down.
What other sort of favor would you want, aside from land?
Oh, I'm always looking for more favors.
Like what?
There's a number of artifacts I've been told to hunt down. Some a little harder than others.
Try me.
Alright. You ever heard of the Feywild?
Oh boy.
Yes.
There's a number of artifacts scattered out there. Each of them worth far more than their own weight in gold.
And?
And I fucking want them!
So, you give us a shopping list, and we return with your items. Is that all you want?
Oh dearie, if I send you out there. I'm guessing you're on a timetable if you had to talk to poor Flix like this.
That is one of those sooner rather than later situations, Flix.
Then I'm guessing you got a few years.
I got something that might be interesting to you.
And what might that be?
Denier gives a little bit of a smile. He reaches into his robes. We spoke to a friend. Figured this might be more useful in your hands. And he sets down the ring of the Fey Runner.
My. The Prime Ring.
The first ring. Quite the artifact, didn't it?
You didn't kill the old man for this, did you?
No. He'd be no use. He'd be no use dead. Besides, he's a really good talker and really good use of information.
Aye, that he is, the old bugger.
No, we parted ways peacefully. I figured that would be useful. Bargaining chip, maybe. Maybe figure out how the Nexus works.
Fair enough. This and the dagger, and I'll do it for you.
Both.
Aye. Way I see is it, you lot don't have much use for either.
Nara looks
Fire
at
ants
Asmo.
kept me. Fire ants kept me safe throughout time since I got it. But I will say,
The Jinn is just kind of staring at you, glowering, and kind of like rubbing a scar that he has on his chest.
but I have something new, something. Well, that's powerful, but this.
Asmo has just kind of spinning chimera in his hand.
Something very, very different.
Aye, I can see that thing's alright even without me little doohickey.
You should see the person it came from.
Quite the tale, I'm sure.
And that's why we don't have time to talk. So, sooner rather than later, Flix. All pleasantries aside.
As long as we got a deal.
Asmo just kind of looks to his allies.
They are not my items. I do not care.
It's an acceptable
Shrugs
deal to
and
me.
nods.
Wonderful.
And I'll tell you what, Flix. On top of that, if I find anything real interesting in the Feywild, I'll let you know.
You know how to get a hold of me.
Oh, most definitely. And I'll let you know what I find out, what the dragons say about our other little tidbit.
Now, majority of you lot looks like you're running on empty there. So would you like to spend the night and head out in the morning? Or would you like to get moving now?
Above game, I don't know.
I'm actually
around.
full.
If you decide to keep moving, you will suffer a point of fatigue.
Oh, really?
No.
Let's
Nope.
go
Oh,
ahead and
well.
call it
Guess
here.
that decision was made.
Yeah. We'll
Basically, I'm telling you.
resume in
Do
the
you want to
morning.
forego a long rest?
No.
No.
All right then, Mr. Cuddles, prepare the chambers. Make sure everybody has a nice place to tuck their bed. The bear once again stands up and starts wandering around. Flix walks up to the back of the bear, kind of climbs up on it Yoda style. And the Jinn just continues sitting by the front door, glowering at you lot. She prepares you places to sleep. A couple of hammocks have been cleared out for you. A couple of areas have just been, like, laden with pillows and various comfy accoutrements. And you sleep through the night.
Or do I? Oh, yeah, I do. No, I do.
I don't.
Do you want to take
all
this
the way,
time
but
to...
we'll get there.
Yes, I would.
All right. While while everything's getting settled, you're going to take some time to cast Dream.
Absolutely. I cast Nightmare.
All right. How long would you wait to see if he falls asleep?
I'd say I'd probably just sit there for 4, maybe. I'd make sure that I could get sleep myself, but I would sit there. Since it's evening, I would wait maybe 3-4 hours.
It's well past evening because it took you it was sundown by the time you guys decided to go find Flix, and it took you an extra few hours to get to her.
Yeah, it's dark already.
Yeah, it's well past dark.
Okay. I'd say 2, maybe 3 hours at most.
All right, as you
Not
sit,
enough to force myself into not get a long rest.
Mm,
it's for hour 1. Oh, I know this would have been at disadvantage. So hour 1. Okay. Hour 2. He doesn't fall asleep in this time.
So he's...
Despite how tired he must be.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I will release the spell and I will drift off myself.
All right.
Interesting that he's either shifted his sleeping schedule to try to counteract me, or he's refusing to go to sleep to not see the nightmares anymore.
All right, you awaken in the morning to the... Oh, sorry, Nara, did you want to do something?
She's gonna read a chapter of Daenerys' book, and then she's also going to try and trance to see if Solomon's around.
All right, trying to contact Solomon of your own will. Go ahead and give me a Constitution check. Because getting in contact with him is a very different process.
5.
Unfortunately, you can't will yourself to die.
Oh, I thought I misunderstood what you told me before, that I could trance it, but I get it now. Never mind.
Yeah, the ability to contact him is very situational.
Like trancing yourself into death. Got it.
Basically, the only time that anybody's been able to contact him, mostly it's not even of their free will, but it's been when they are in the transition between life and death.
Got it. Okay. I didn't know if it was something where like she trances her heart rate to stop, and then that's like...
That's technically what I was trying to get you to do, literally forcing your heart to seize
stop.
up.
Got it. Okay. Well then, yeah, then she'll just she'll give up on that, and then she'll go read some of Daenerys' journal, and then trance some sleep.
All right. You read through the journal. Anybody else have anything they wanted to do in the evening?
Nope. Sleep. I'm envious of my character. I'd love to sleep too right now. I'm on my second coffee.
Wow.
Wow.
So, have we exhausted the usefulness of the Jester's Journal? Because I still have that.
As far as I'm aware, you just kind of stopped reading it.
Oh.
I could probably give that a quick once over just to see if I could glean anything off of what his current plans are.
Let me see how many entries I have given you. You have 2 entries currently. Let me go to my Jester's Journal notebook here.
Yep, I gave the book when I left the party.
Where is... All right.
Meow, 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 meow.
Let me see.
Meow. Meow, meow,
When
meow.
This one ended.
Meow.
Meow. Meow. Meow. Meow.
All right, you thumb through a number of passages, probably weeks worth of passages, mostly documenting... Yeah, here. I'll just copy paste here. Add. Handout. All players. Save changes. All right. Jester's Journal, entry 3.
Oh.
The next 2 weeks of entries mostly document his pride in his ability to draw a crowd and reminiscing on his days traveling with his troop. He also notes a few kills the Jester makes along the way, awarding him with a never-ending bag, which makes traveling much lighter. Notably, also, a few days have been skipped over with no entry. Damn. Seems I became a little too popular for my own good, though gods only know is how as I've only been playing some paltry tavern crowds. This morning I was packing up to head back north. I got the mark from the Archmage. Apparently I've been requested specifically for a damned performance, so they say. I can't tell if it's my own paranoia or not anymore. All of this, the timing, it just seems too convenient. Could they know? We've heard other bards singing the ballad of the Bloody Bordeaux, and rumors of its jester. No one could actually know. Could they? Either way, we don't have much choice. There by the allotted day, or simply cease to exist, I will not let Fiora down. A couple more weeks of notes documenting his journey northward. Even more days have been skipped over, sometimes making only two a week. Just my damned luck. I finally get to a town that draws some foot traffic in order to fund my journey to the capital, and the mayor is murdered the night we arrive. The kicker? It wasn't even the jester this time. We'll have to lay low. Apparently the town hired some bigwig monster hunters to deal with it. Until they do, I'll just play it easy. Do my shows so I can hire a carriage. It's getting so cold my ears might fall off my damned head if I don't.
Those are the entries that catch your eye before you inevitably drift off and fall asleep. So the next morning, you're awoken to the smell of griddled sausage as you turn towards the where that smell and sound is, and the sound of frying sausage is emanating from. You see the giant, large stuffed bear wearing a chef's hat, just trying to work a griddle. It turns when it notices you holding a skillet.
Are you making char meat?
It wanders over and just starts using some basic kitchen implements, just trying to wrap its big, stupid, dumb, stuffed hand around them to try to scoop them onto plates. Morning, everyone.
Oh.
Good
I
morning.
slept weird on my neck.
Cracking his neck.
One sec. Flix kind of holds up her hand towards you, and with mage hand, she's going to, oh shit, nat 20, give you a proper adjustment.
Oh, that feels. Oh my god. Oh, I've been in pain my whole life.
That's what it feels like after having that happen, by the way. You're like, oh my god, I've lived wrong always.
Wow.
Well, hopefully that'll help wake you up. Mr. Cuddles here has made some sausage. Looks like it's made out of rabbit.
Rabbit
It
sausage.
is beautiful.
Aye, rabbit
She
and
says,
sage
drooling a
and
little bit.
leeks.
I'm just imagining him hunting down rabbits right now in the woods. That looks. God, that would be terrifying.
As it keeps rubbing his neck.
The Jinn sitting there looking like he's kind of covered in soot.
Yes, him.
As it looks over.
What? Not used to punching below your weight?
Too used to it. Eat the rabbit.
Nara's gonna walk up to Flix.
Eat the rabbit!
I never said my name, I don't think. I am
Told me your
Nara.
name was Nara. You actually did introduce yourself.
Oh, well, shit. Thank you for your hospitality. I know we came in out of the blue, seemingly.
Oh, what are old friends for? Old
And
associates anyway.
Hmm?
Old associates anyway.
That sounds more accurate.
Aye. As soon as you lot are ready to go, I'll help get you into the city.
Is Denier out here, by the way?
Yeah,
Nara-
everybody's been sleeping in the same room. She basically has a den and a separate room where she sleeps.
And Nara's gonna, now that she's like noticed that Denier is like fully awake, she's gonna beeline over. Denier,
Mm-hmm.
I have to try something.
Okay.
And she immediately goes up and scritches his ear.
I hate this. Okay. Roll. What? How good is she at scritching, Lenny?
I don't know.
Go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand.
11!
Slightly above average. Pretty good scritches.
Hey.
Denier closes his eyes and he gives a little bit of a smile.
I was not good enough.
You will learn.
She,
You
looks,
read,
she like balls up her fists and like looks at the ground and goes, one day, I will get the purse.
you read the passage about Maggie, didn't you?
Yes, I am also very confused about Garrick. Asmo's Garrick. Is that the same one?
Yes. That was... Garrick made a lot of changes over his time with us.
I will have to read more. He seems very stupid right now.
He was, but he changed a lot. But we all change eventually. Also, Kench's sleeping patterns have changed, by the way. Just to give everybody a heads up.
Was that a busy night, huh? Burning the midnight oil to keep away the demons.
No,
Well.
one thing you notice when you take your hand away from the back of Denier's ear, under your fingernails, just a lot of sand particles.
Thank you. Thank you for running with that.
It'll never be gone.
Never.
Never be
Oh
gone.
no.
Why?
Even through all the
this-
prestidigitation, it'll never be truly clean.
She's like shaking her hand. What is happening?
Oh, don't worry about that. There's went to the desert. No matter what I do, I can't get the sand out. I've taken like 17 baths since then, and I hate baths. But if you need sand,
Wait,
I'm your guy.
Not to take away from everything, but don't cats like lick themselves?
Do you like the taste of sand, Asmo?
I don't know. I'm not a cat.
Asmo, do you want
What?
to lick Denier? I am confused.
I think we're ready to go, Flix.
Thank you.
Like if Asmo had a coffee, he'd just take a big sip of his coffee.
Flix hands you a coffee.
Thank you, Flix.
Of course.
Get that hot bean juice in my bloodstream, Christ.
Flix continues munching on a sausage roll. All right, you can get moving whenever you're ready. Cuddles, hold down the fort. Come on, Zalbar.
Yes, mistress.
The Jinn bows.
Zalbar?
Zalbar the Jinn, yes.
Okay.
And you guys start to make your way out of the tunnels and back out to the daylight. Nara, even though your form has changed, the light still kind of burns your eyes.
She's gonna flick out the sunglasses and put them on really quickly.
Stylish?
Yes. She like kind of grimaces.
Alright. Now, to get into Silver Rock, the easiest way would be through the mines. They're the least patrolled.
Secret passage.
Especially
Denier
if
has
you're-
a 1,000-yard gaze right now.
Especially if you're one of the hill folk like me. I know each and every one of these crevices, except the new ones.
Would that be information that any villager might know?
Not likely, unless they're miners. But they've been trying to stay away from the mines lately. At least the ones that I travel through.
I find some solace in that.
I don't like those mines, but let's go.
Alright, you guys make your way up into the hills. Whoever wants... Hold on, I'll roll something for Flix first. As Zalbar casts greater invisibility on each of you.
Ooh,
Feel free to...
boy.
Yeah. Feel free to make a... Or just plain invisibility, because that lasts longer.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It makes more sense for traveling.
Mhm.
Go ahead and give me a stealth with an advantage or a perception. As Flix
I'll go
is going
stealth.
to...
Perception, please no stealth for me.
11. Thank you for the advantage.
You're welcome.
26.
Advantage 16.
What do I click? 22.
All right.
Nice.
With between Flix and Nara, you guys are pretty easily able to duck any rangers that might be wandering these hills. Those that even think they kind of get a sense from you, because some of them are traveling with dogs. You're able to evade them long enough that they kind of lose your scent trail. And you make it into one of the abandoned mine tunnels that Flix leads you to. Get me my cave ambiance. It's dark on the inside, but most of you have dark vision, and Nara, you have hella good dark vision, so...
Yeah, she's gonna take off those glasses and soak in the dark.
Drink it in, man.
Your
Mm.
invisibility wears off as you guys enter, and Flix, I believe gnomes also have dark vision. I'm just gonna say yes. Otherwise, she'd have something for this, most certainly. You guys begin traveling through these caves where it seems the only things that are around are very small wildlife, like bats and like tiny lizards, bugs, and little marmots. It's been a while. It's been about a week since I traveled through this way. Last time there was nobody going through here. And it should get us somewhere close to the sewer lines, if I recall correctly. And from there, pretty easy to approach.
Good deal. How crazy is it looking up there nowadays?
Well, the last time I was in there, people are starting to get all freaked out because, well, apparently the old bugger started going mad after his god stopped listening to him.
Yep.
He was mad long before then.
Aye, but this only made it worse. Haven't gathered much information since then. Give Flix a
Apparently he's still
survival
calling
check.
for his god.
Well, whatever's happened over the past week, I can't speak to too much. But I have noticed tension from the villages out front. Shifting tensions.
In what way?
Towards rebellion.
Potentially. But he kind of rules with an iron fist. Nobody wants to go up against the man with the penchant for crushing skulls.
Hmm.
And what of Lady Vileblood? What is her role?
And it's here where I'd like to make a retraction. I, at one point, said she was a human. That's what she is in my notes. But apparently, in canon, I have said that she's a vampire. So she's a vampire.
Yeah.
That odd bloodsucker.
That's the one.
Ah, yes.
Asmo knows who you're talking about, right?
Aye.
The one who stabbed you, yes.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah,
but
the one
to say
stabbed
that-
you in the
Ah,
hand.
yes. Ah, yes, she stabbed me in the hand when I made a pass at her.
That sounds strange.
Yeah.
Rather gifted wizard, that one. Enchanted the walls.
Oh, he has wizards now. The guy who hates wizards. Ah, these...
Enchanted
I
the
don't-
walls. Perhaps it's a good idea that we didn't dimension door through 'em.
Very much so. I tried to at one point. Oh, they kind of catch on to that one really quick.
That would have been inconvenient for us, I think.
Probably. As far as I'm aware, he doesn't hate wizards. Just hates those that are born with it.
Do you know why?
Hard to say. Religious dogma? Perhaps fear? I don't know. I've gotten along with plenty of the people that are born with magic in their blood. Maybe it's because I'm kind of one of them, but not quite, you know? Just from lineage and all that.
Hmm.
I know that feeling.
But she's
Has
got
there-
his ear something fierce
sorry.
and probably... But she's got his ear something fierce and probably other parts of him.
Ah,
Will she
how
be
long
there
has
as
that
well?
been?
She's been here for... God, ever since you lot left, I believe she stayed here.
The vile blood.
Aye.
All right, then we're going to need to be ready to counter her magic if she decides to throw it at us.
I'm just happy we don't even bump into her.
Hope not.
Knowing
going for-
vampires, being long-lived as they are, she probably only took a passing interest in him because of his tendencies.
Well, if you're going after the old man, you're probably gonna have to run into the missus as well, I'd bet.
Behind every bad man.
He's a great woman.
No, a bad woman. She's gonna be very. She was scary when she was not against us. Christ, I can only imagine how scary she is now.
When immortal beings are presented with their own mortality, however, they tend
Be confusing.
to make self-beneficial decisions.
From time to time.
The ground beneath you begins to rumble for a moment.
What was that?
Anything that we
bleeding
could
trem-
perceive from that?
Another bleeding tremor. Actually, each of you, I suppose, could give me a knowledge nature check.
Ooh. Could I also detect magic?
20.
Oh my
if you
God.
turn it on, no problem.
Click.
13.
17.
Oh boy. Big natural guys coming in here.
It's coming in hot.
Big 6.
Big hero 6 there. Denier, Wolfgang, you have a trepidation towards tremors at this point, especially near the maw, because they usually mean one thing.
Minions.
Minions.
What minions?
Minions of the bleeding gum. You remember in the Hexwood?
No,
You're
yeah,
helping-
you don't have to tell me twice.
I
you were
would
helping
like to
Evelyn and
hear.
his people.
Nara, do you remember the dreams that I have?
Yes.
Those are the things inside of the dreams.
Oh. That would be problematic.
The things that are described inside of the dreams, Nara, are actually very similar to the things that your master sent you to hunt near the maw. You've killed a few of them, but wherever you find a few, there are usually way too many to deal with.
They usually travel in large packs. They would
Yes.
slow us dramatically. I've killed a few in the past, but it's very hard to get a hold of them.
I tend to hide rather than... I prefer hiding, especially in that place when I couldn't use magic.
They're little more than deranged beasts. The only thing they crave is death and destruction.
I think I would like them then, if I didn't have to face them.
Hold on. Just to be safe. Flix is going to cast Pass Without a Trace on everybody,
Okay, cool.
which will
Cool
give your
spell.
stealth checks a +10.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's
Really good
delicious.
spell.
So everybody go ahead and roll stealth and add 10.
Here we go. Okay.
32.
So it's 23 for me?
22
Natural 1.
Oh my god.
to a total of 19. So
Still
I don't know.
natural
Does
one.
does the natural 1 counteract
Natural one
that?
does kind of counter that, but I am going by the group instead of the individual on this one.
fair enough.
All right, Flix gets a 25, and Zalbar gets a 28. So you guys begin passing without a trace through this as Flix continues to lead the way through various tunnels, trying to scout ahead. You don't, with your passive perceptions anyway, you guys don't make out any signs that these minions are anywhere near you, if they are around, and it wasn't just some tremor.
I will still be on the lookout and cast Detect Magic.
All right.
Someone
detect
just
magic in
walks
30
flailing,
feet.
looking as big as possible.
Try
Oh
to
my
scare
God.
them off. Go ahead and give me perception checks, then Wolfgang and whoever else wanted to. Wolfgang with advantage since you have Detect Magic on.
All right.
Yeah, I'll roll for perception.
Yeah,
I feel like
Hey.
I feel like I shouldn't be allowed because of that now.
13.
20.
Wait, 18 because I have advantage.
Yeah.
29 for Caitlin. Oof.
Well, that's with advantage. Do I have advantage?
You do not. You
Okay.
don't have
I'm
Detect
so just
Magic activated.
20.
Sorry.
Perception check is so good.
Yeah, I know. What do you think? I always want to use that.
It took expertise in it.
Yeah.
So you guys don't notice anything as you're traveling outside of the odd, woodland critter here and there, kind of crawling in and out of some of these crevices that have opened up. You guys actually make it through without any issue, according to my dice, which, I guess I could delete that
Yay.
encounter potentially.
No, it's fine. Here, leave it.
You find your way toward the end of this cave. You find a what appears to be a patched wall that Flix motions you towards. On the other side of that, you should find the little sewer system of Silver Rock. From there, you find your way to the surface. You find your way to the manor, and I'm sure that's where you'll find the man.
much appreciated, Flix.
Of course, we had a deal. Of course.
Absolutely. And I'm going to do everything that I can to get it for you.
Much appreciated, Denier. Now, if that'll be everything, I'll be on my way.
Denier gives a nod.
Nara's checked out of that conversation because she didn't have anything that she had to contribute to it.
Help you out with one more little thing. She pulls out a scroll and slaps it on the wall. It starts to sizzle, and the wall slowly vibrates and turns to dust. And on
What was that?
on the other side, clear as day, you can see the sewers of Silver Rock.
Ooh. Down in Silver Rock.
And with that, I'll make my way out.
Thanks, Flix.
You're welcome. See
Appreciate
you later,
the
boys.
assist.
Very nice
Enjoy
to meet
the-
you, Nara.
Nice to meet you as well.
Enjoy Fire Ant. I know
I
your
will.
genie didn't.
You're lucky the mistress is here. I would gut you.
I'm not Wolfgang, that's not happening.
If you're ever in Wild's Edge, feel free to look us up. Bye, dearies. As Flix hops up onto Zalbar's back. Mush mush. He starts walking. And as she wanders back into the darkness of the caves and you look ahead into the sewers of Silver Rock, here is where we will take a quick break. Hey guys, Lani here. If you're liking what you're watching, feel free to hit that subscribe button and that like button. It really helps me feel the love for this series. And if you want to catch us live, feel free to hit us up on twitch.tv/Lanipator Mondays at 5 o'clock Central Time. Thanks for rolling with me. Now let's get back to the action. As Flix steps away from you guys, you wander into the sewers beneath Silver Rock. No patrols down here. Luckily, you know, they don't figure this to be a good place to send their troops right now. It's dark, dank, doesn't smell all that great. And yeah. What is your course of action?
Would, because Nara has been in several sewer systems before, would she have any idea of what this layout might be based on what she's seen of the layout of the...
Based on the fact that, yes, you do a lot of underground crawling through the city's guts, you can go ahead and give me a survival with advantage.
21.
You know that based on where you entered, you are currently in the outskirts of town. Traveling through the guts of this place, just based on the, let's call it, leavings of what you might find down here, you could probably wager a guess as to what part of town you're in. As you begin tracking through the vile platitudes of discarded fluids and solids. You start making your way towards the place where the people start having a bit of a nicer diet.
Ugh.
Yes,
Yep.
Enjoy that image.
How would
Thanks.
we tell?
I'd tell.
You don't. Nara does.
How?
Nara's done this so many times. I guess that's...
with a 21 survival check, fairly easily.
She's fucking nasty.
When you know what things are, because you've been there several times, it's easy tells.
See, these people eat corn. Not hard. It's a
Corn!
I'm not sure what to say to that, so let's move on.
You find your way into what you believe to be the center of town, where there is a large cistern set to basically have a bunch of bacteria feed on what's been down here. Try to cleanse this area. There's relatively cleaner water here as well.
Getting closer, I think.
Yes, we shouldn't be too far away now.
have to ask, what is your goal down here? Do you intend to infiltrate the city and then find your way to the manor from there, or do you want to try to go all the way underground to find your way to the manor?
At this point, there's... We're not invisible anymore, right?
No, you're not invisible anymore.
I can make us invisible again if we need to.
I can keep recasting Detect Magic and try to see if I can get any indication of if we might be heading towards where there's a lot of magic.
You're fading out pretty hard there, Connor. Your microphone
Am?
is dimming. Yeah.
Grumble. I was just saying I could possibly I can keep recasting Detect Magic infinitely because of my Eldritch Invocations. So I could probably try to tell if we're getting towards some of the more magically inclined parts of the city, just maybe a part of the sewer system or something that is magical that will clean itself or something like that.
Would Nara be able to tell, like, when we're underneath the place that we need to be, or is that kind of too much of a shot in the dark?
With the survival check that you rolled me, you would probably be able to figure out, where, because you're assuming that this manor, as the party would describe it to you, because they've been above ground and they know the layout of this town.
So that would help a lot.
Yeah,
okay.
Together you would probably be able to figure out exactly where this sewer line would end toward the Kench estate, if that is the direction, if that is the way you wish to infiltrate.
Get as
I
close as
mean,
we can, go above
I don't know
ground
why
as
we
can.
wouldn't just get into the house, but also we don't know how guarded or what's going on
getting
inside.
into
So
the manor
yeah.
from the outside, I think, would be a much harder ordeal than getting in from the.
So we could just come up through his toilet, right?
Probably not like that. Probably not.
Probably not directly. The pipes are probably a little bit smaller leading to that, but you could probably get close enough that you would.
There's probably
try to-
like a
try to-
basement
try to
and
find a-
storm drain.
Yeah, try to find
Right.
a place where you could access the property by the sewer.
Yeah. I would say with all the information that they've given me and her knowledge of this kind of thing, they could just go in through the easiest route that would get them really close.
Fair enough. Any other thoughts on that, or does that sound like the plan that you guys are going to go with?
Can't come up with it. I can't think of anything to add to that.
Sounds like the plan, but I want to make sure I'm mage armored before I go in.
I'm going to do the same.
All right, you guys track your way through the sewers, assisting Nara with information as to, like, the proper layout of the city. You continue through the sewers. I want you to make a survival check with advantage one more time, just to navigate your way there, or as close to an approximation as you can.
You said survival?
Yes. Survival is navigation, basically.
17.
Okay. Between
Hell
the
yeah.
between the lot of you, you're able to find your way through your knowledge of human dietary biology and their knowledge of the way that the town is structured. You're able to find your way to the richer district where things start to thin out. Every now and again you'd cross under a manhole. As you've been getting closer this way, it's also been getting quieter and quieter, more secluded, until eventually you find yourself in a very large cistern that you believe to be beneath Kench Manor.
Are we able to hear anything as we're like going through?
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
19.
On a 19, actually, under one of the manholes that you were traveling under, you do hear a couple of people gossiping. Would you stop to listen?
Just for a moment, yes.
Yeah, it's been dark over there for a few nights now. Not sure what's been going on with him. Aye. My mate, his sister never quite came out of there. In fact, nobody who serves in there's come out there in some time. I mean, I'd ask questions, but the man pays me bills, and frankly, he seems a little unhinged. I'm worried for the girl, though. Yeah. Not sure what's been going on. Must be under a lot of pressure trying to liberate us from the dragons and all that. Hope they're doing good in there. Basically under lockdown. Well, I should get moving. Bye. Catch you later.
Let me... How do I want to... If I can... Because if we're close enough for me to hear them, I wouldn't want to talk loud enough for anyone to hear me, right?
You're using your, like, peak hearing senses to kind of gather this information. So you're thinking that, you know, as long as you're whispering, they're probably not going to catch you.
Okay. So I'm going to very quietly turn around. Apparently, no one has come out of that place in a long time.
I believe it.
So Kench is leading from the front?
They say that he has gone inward, that the people here think that they are going to be liberated from the dragons. Does that make sense?
It's a civil war against the dragons. What might be going on is the last few days, Kench hasn't been sleeping well. He might be changing his sleep cycle, which means we might catch him asleep.
But that also means that everyone that is in the manor knows all the faces that are in the manor. No new faces.
It's odd that Kench isn't leading from the front.
Why?
Notably, us as these characters have never been to the Kench Manor other than the dungeon, correct?
You've been there. You were there when you were working as emissaries for Dragon's Rest. You've been there very briefly, kind of only in the main hall. And then, of course, eventually in the dungeon.
we have been there as other characters, though.
Stuck in the middle with you.
So wait, you guys have been there?
Yeah, they've
Yes,
been in the
we
main
did a
hall.
one-shot.
They haven't been all over the... as Asmo, Denier, and Wolfgang, they have not been all over the building, but they have been in the main hall before.
If we needed, we could always use a face. If we had to.
We could. But I'd say they're going to be scared. I don't think the servants are going to be much of a threat.
They might alert Kench.
Unless we get to them. If they're as terrified as I think they are, they might be willing to help us.
We can always try to persuade them, but if worse comes to worse, I will have a new face.
Let's just try to avoid them for now.
You're no fun.
And now you know him.
And they'll continue. She's done, so she's gonna continue slinking forward.
Yep.
All right. You eventually end up in that cistern that I previously talked about. believing yourself to be beneath the Kench estate. But there doesn't appear to be a good way up or in that isn't that doesn't currently have water flowing out of it or is heavily gated and barred.
Any magic that I'm picking up on?
Not that you can see.
The heavily gated and barred section, like, is it just one grouping of bars or is it multiple?
There is basically one of those large circular grates of thick, heavy steel. As far as you can tell, like you're not even entirely sure where it leads. You just know it goes further, but it is. Yeah, there's a couple of them. They kind of shoot like kind of kitty corner of the cistern, each leading in about a 45-degree angle backward, and then there is a kind of a torrent of water gushing out of one in between them, leading into that cistern.
I will summon Eska and send Eska down one of those passages.
Eska starts scurrying in.
All right, and I will use my ability to tap into Eska's vision.
Which lasts for 100 feet.
I believe, yes. I believe it's 100 feet with communication.
Okay. You watch through Eska's eyes as Eska scurries down this tunnel. Water, like you start seeing like some small water / sludge flows. Not digestive sludge oozing out of some of these ports, but Icarus thick, almost gelatinous protein.
What?
Since night vision is always in black and white, you can't quite see exactly what the make is.
Wait, is it like from the ground, or from what direction are we seeing this?
It's oozing from a source that seems to emanate from within the manor.
Does it look like there's a way up into the manor from there?
Maybe if you crawl into one of these smaller pipes and scurried through the sludge. But this pipe, within 100 feet, doesn't seem to end in anything except more pipe.
Okay. I will call him back and send him through the other one and let everybody know what I'm seeing.
Is there any smell in the air aside from what you'd normally expect in a sewer?
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Feel a lot like Stephen
26.
Oh my god, you're so good at
This is Nara's place.
The sewers, as you drift away from the natural sewer smells, those pleasant things, there is a heavy smell, like, especially as you walk up to the other piece that's the other tunnel that Eska just ran down. There is a smell of rots, decay, and blood.
Something smells delightful down here. It smells like decay and blood and rot.
Well, if Kench is married to a vampire, I'm going to assume that she needs to eat, and I'm going to assume they dispose of the body in the most lazy possible way possible.
You don't think he's a vampire?
Well, I mean, if you marry someone who smokes, you might end up smoking. So if you marry someone who is a vampire, you might start to suck yourself.
And I'm this.
No, but you got the beard, you see? Subtle changes.
It did get quieter as we came in closer to the manor.
Just shakes
What
his
I
head.
heard. They said that they closed up, that no one had come out in a long time. It would make sense if there are no faces left to take.
Think this might be less of a home and someone's lair. And there might be something hunting in here.
That means there are less bodies. Or more.
But we could be walking into a trap.
Is that not something you've said multiple times over the last few weeks?
Can't remember.
Yeah, Wolfgang, have you said that last couple weeks?
I don't believe so.
Asmo just trying to keep his.
So what's the plan?
I sent Eska down the other tunnel.
You did.
Same information?
Yes, but this time you also see a bit of movement.
Oh.
Go ahead and give me a perception check as Eska is scouting this tunnel.
Okay, my perception or his?
His.
Okay, let me pull up his stats. He has a perception of +3. 12.
What's Eska's AC?
Eska's AC is 13.
As one of the bubbling oozes kind of rolls forward, it lashes out with tendrils and grasps around Eska's neck. Eska starts to wince and scream with as this burning sensation racks Eska for 7 points of damage. Acid.
He explodes into a puff of smoke. Yeah, the oozes are alive down here. Just a heads up. That one over there just took out Eska.
That's not good.
Asmo
I would
pulls
know.
out.
I would know that oozes and slimes can't necessarily be controlled and aren't necessarily used as guardians of anything, right?
Asmo immediately takes Chimera and
Well-
just like.
There was a certain slime that you ran into that seemed to have some sort of sentience.
Wait a minute.
Oh shit!
What?
No, you wouldn't
What?
do.
The
Not
one
again.
voiced by Michael Douglas?
No, the Cybriax.
No,
Ublex, whatever.
that one, yeah.
No.
Wait,
A
what?
lot of Blexes.
Was this before me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Denier starts looking angry. Okay, so it was just a slimy creature there?
Yeah, slimy tendrils reached out and wrapped itself around Eska as it started to absorb it.
Okay.
What happened?
Asmo, I'd like to really quickly prep an action, Nick.
Go ahead.
Take Chimera and I immediately slap it to activate the shell. Turns into the shield.
You should be on our guard. I should lead from the front. Okay?
And it's a metal grate. Pass that way, Lenny?
Yes.
Cool. Denier, looking angry, points his finger at it. A green ray shoots from it. It takes 81 points of damage.
What?
It immediately disintegrates. Just dust.
Oh.
What? What?
I cast
Disintegrated the great. Disintegrate.
I.
Wow.
Come on, man.
More like disintegrate good enough. Okay.
Okay.
Good enough to
Denier
get that job done.
walking down that tunnel.
Jacinta, I'm proud of
Alright.
you.
You climb up into that tunnel, back toward where you last had contact with Eska, about 80 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and give me a perception check, as there's a lot of vile ichor all around you.
All of us, or just Bob?
21.
He's the only one that proclaimed that he's doing this.
Got it.
You see a tendril as it's about to lash out at you from the ceiling.
All right, I'm going to magic missile it.
What level?
Level 3.
All right. Go ahead and cast away as you fire forth.
5, 9, 11, 15 points of damage.
Ooh.
All right, 15 points of damage as you rocket. Sorry, I lost my stat screen here. As you blast this small ooze with your orbs of arcane force. Damn it. I had this thing all written out too. As you blast this thing with your orbs of arcane force, it splats, splat. It plops down to the ground and leaps towards you with all its oozy goodness.
Ugh.
All right.
It's an 18 to hit.
I shield.
And as it leaps up towards you, it just kind of streaks down, leaving this slimy, snail-like trail on your arcane shield as it rolls to the ground and tries to get itself back up.
Very slowly
Just
tilt its head.
When it's touching the ground, is it doing any acid damage?
None of you are anywhere near it.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting.
Only Danier's there.
I assume we were hearing a scuffle.
Yes, you've heard Danier fire off, and you hear a couple of splorts and splashes.
Oh,
Right,
then yeah,
he's running.
we're gonna go over there.
All right, Danier, you have one more round before anybody else gets to you.
Okie doke. And it's just this thing. It's just splorting around me at the moment.
It's currently rolling and writhing. It definitely looks like it's kind of at the end of its oozy rope.
Cool. I will chromatic orbit at 3rd level.
All right, roll to hit.
20.
Oh,
And what elements are you firing?
Fire.
As this red orb with flames contained within it projects towards this creature, the rest of you start coming towards Danier to see a red slime with what appears to be a human hand bone on the inside of it. As the fire connects, it incinerates.
23 points of damage.
And basically, with that, it is nothing but cooked viscera and smoke.
do we know what the thing is at all, or is it completely an unknown? Because would Nara know anything about? That feels like something Nara would know about from Solomon.
You could give me a arcane check on that one if you wanted. Everybody else could give me a arcane with advantage.
Okay.
Or nature with advantage.
I'll do arcane. I think I know what it is.
Oh,
I can't
8.
hear though.
25.
Whoa!
17.
All right, guys, big roll, Arcana roll coming up.
So ready.
6.
Nice. High five.
Danier,
Mm-hmm.
this creature, although definitely smaller, seems very reminiscent of the red slime that you fought here last time. The one that had ties to the bleeding god.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it?
It's an obelix.
Basically a baby oblex. A piece of a greater whole.
Obelix.
What is it?
Bad news.
The last time we fought one of these things, it was connected with the bleeding god and attacked my mind. This thing is what caused me to attack Bahum and start the entire thing.
You were at fault for all of that.
No.
It took my mind, forced me to do things that I did not want to do, but yes, I was the one that attacked Bahum.
Not great.
Especially since they're here. And Danir's going to keep walking down the tunnel carefully.
We destroyed it, though. I'll follow him.
Very, very careful. Stay behind me.
This tunnel eventually leads you to a dead end. The only way that seems to go up and into the manor would be through the
Icker.
in the significantly smaller tunnels that seem to be oozing forth.
Well, looks like we have to turn around and go back unless one of you want to pop off your wonderful teleporting spell.
I don't think that would be wise, given that the vile blood is magic.
But I'm not sensing any magic.
You are not, except for any magic that seems to be permeating through the Ichor itself. There does appear to be a magical essence to it.
Then, can you get us in?
Probably.
How
One
far-
near takes the other.
I gotta If they've magically enchanted the walls of this city, I think it's safe to say they've magically enchanted the main castle in it too. The second someone tries to teleport in or get through there in a magical means, they're gonna be alerted. They
I would
just have
see
to...
it.
Hmm?
I would see it if it were magical.
Did he see the magic of the walls before?
Flix told us about Flix told us about the magic walls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
I didn't
so
know
far-
something.
And so far, I haven't sensed any magic around us.
Yeah, you haven't sensed any magic and any sort of magical warding in the sewer.
So do we try or find another way?
I'd say we find the nearest exit. Even if it means going up onto the surface, we can sneak into the manor through there. I don't like the fact that these oozers are down here.
They're the guards. And clearly that one was, they had dinner.
Thinking a manhole?
Yeah. Or try to find some place where we can at least pop above ground.
What time we wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah, not from the sewer, you wouldn't.
But we left in the morning, right?
Yes, you've been traveling for a few hours. Your best guess, go ahead and give me a survival check, anybody who wants to try to guess what time it is.
Okay.
I'll do it. I could do it 9 times.
11.
6.
By your best guess, and a guess that's still not very great with an 8.
7.
7.
I had 11.
Big numbers. Osmo coming to save the day.
Yay.
It's hard for you to tell exactly what time it is. As far as you're aware, it could range from anywhere from the amount of time that you've been traveling through the caves and through the sewers. It could be anywhere from early afternoon to evening.
But not dark.
Sun's still up.
When it came to the last manhole that you walked under,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it looked like there was still some light.
Okay. So we turn back.
At least to find a way up. There's got to be one nearby.
And if we're spotted,
I can at least make us invisible.
okay.
Were there any extra, like, closer tunnels that we noticed? Or anything as we were coming closer to the manor?
Not particularly. It seemed like a fairly normal sewer layout.
Okay.
There didn't appear to be like any secret tunnels or anything that would potentially be used for passage down here. Only the typical maintenance shafts and things like that.
Okay.
So you guys wander back to the next nearest exit.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Okay. You travel back. It takes you back a little bit. Not too far. Far enough that you know you're not under the estate anymore. But you're just out where, you can find your way out the maintenance hatch that would lead you still kind of in the relatively, like, nobler district of the city. As you climb your way up, you slide it open. Go ahead and give me who's going first. Who's climbing the ladder first?
Who's gonna be sneakiest?
Asmo cracks his neck.
There we go.
Asmo puts the shield on his back. Gingerly, stealthily. What a thrill.
Oh my god.
With darkness and silence of the night.
Would you like me to hit a stealth check there, Nick?
I would.
13. Fucking
Okay.
hell, these
And
low
as you-
rolls. Oh my
And
god.
as you 13 isn't that bad. It's still above
Dude,
average.
that's a
with an
that's a 5.
8 bonus.
That's a
whatever.
5 though, dude. That's
But he's still already
It's
sneaky.
above a 10, which is middle of the road.
If
Yes.
we were on a tabletop, I just rolled a 5, I would have gone, fucking hell.
Regardless, now that you got the it takes you a little bit of extra effort to kind of like pop that open. You're afraid you might have made too much noise. Go ahead and give me a perception check to look around.
Yeah.
As you pop open the grate, you see kind of gathering clouds in the sky. Rain touches down on your nose. As you begin to look around, the area seems almost entirely abandoned.
Asmo, like,
No
just
foot
looking
traffic whatsoever.
how high up is Asmo? If he speaks, can they hear him?
You're about like 20 feet above them up the ladder.
Asmo.
There's no one up here. It's a ghost town.
Sounds right based on what I overheard.
Yeah. Where is the Asmo's looking around? Where is the nearest place for cover?
There appears to be there's a shack nearby in a kind of in a nearby alley that looks to be where the maintenance worker would have staged himself before going into the sewers. It's about 10 meters away.
There's some cover, 10 meters.
Asmo points the direction it is, down to them.
This way.
All right.
I'm gonna try for it first.
Asmo pops his head out.
As you do, the storm actually begins to open up a little bit.
And Asmo makes his way as quickly on all fours over to the cover.
You crawl your way over there. The shack has like a very simple door on it. Looks like it would fit about like 5 to 10 people on the inside.
Is the door open?
You check it, and it seems to be unlocked.
Asmo opens it to the side and pushes it open with his hand. but he's on the side of on the side of it.
Are we going with them, guys?
Yes. Nara would probably go next because she knows she can't put that sewer grate back.
All right, you climb up. You see Asmo kind of checking out that shack he was mentioning as he opens the door. On the inside, Asmo, it looks to be a pretty simple tool shed with a small staging area with a desk, tool rack, and some sconces that hold torches, and a couple of lantern holsters.
Alrighty, Asmo goes in.
All right, Nara,
SEAL
you
Team
notice
6
that
style.
this area is completely abandoned. There are some pretty nice houses just down the road, all of them dark.
How far are we away from Kench's Manor?
You can see it up the hill a ways, and it's probably about 100 meters off from you.
Closed off, like closed gate yards and everything, or just can you walk in?
There's a wall, but there is a open patch in the wall that leads to the walkway towards the front of the manor. Looming in the background of the tower, or of the manor, some kilometers off, you can see the spire where the massive arcane cannon sits.
And no one is around, correct?
Not a soul as far as you can see.
Nara's gonna, like, based on that information and being sneaky if she hears anything, she's gonna run up to a house and kind of, like, peep inside.
Go ahead and give me a perception check as you peek through the window.
13.
You don't see any people in there. The building itself looks as though the interior has been kind of like tossed. Like there's broken furniture.
Based on that, she's gonna run over to another house as well and look inside.
Go ahead and give me a perception check again.
14.
Very similar. This time, however, you also notice that there, as you step away, atop the buildings, there are birds sitting out in the rain just looking at you.
I have my detect magic on. Would they be within range of this? I'm also notably looking for scrying orbs because I know she did that shit last time too.
As you pop out of the sewer, go ahead and give me a perception, because you wouldn't be looking for these birds.
I would be looking for scrying orbs.
Okay, as you're kind of like glancing around. So go ahead and give me a perception check.
That's gonna be 11.
Oh my god.
They didn't roll particularly
excited.
high in stealth. So, as you glance around, you do notice these birds do have a magical aura about them, a sort of divination aura, and they appear to be eyeing you as you leave the grate.
Those birds are watching us.
Nara's gonna come back over. It looks as though our stealth is gone now. We may as well just walk in the front. Your custom.
We can.
What else would there be to do? She already knows that we are here.
Unless those aren't hers. But if we're going to go,
Asmo whispers from his hiding place,
That's a big F.
if we're going to go, then let's go. If we're going
Hold
to
it
kick down the
flat,
door, let's
birds.
make a show.
Eldritch blast the birds before we go.
Oh.
All right, go ahead and fire away at one of the birds.
How many of them are there?
We aren't talking like straight up Hitchcock territory here, but there are definitely
A lot.
a few dozen lining the rooftops.
A group of crows is called a murder, Marge.
Oh,
a
don't
murder.
that
I'll
many
try, to,
verbs.
I'll try to scare them away so that they're not relaying all of our movements. Then,
All right, go ahead and, like I said, take aim at one.
first one's going to be a 16.
That'll hit.
1 force damage.
Oh my god.
Second one, 19.
That also hits.
I'm divvying this up between 3 crows for 8
Okay.
force damage.
Gotcha.
And finally, 19
Also hits.
for 6
Nice.
force.
The first one looks as though it got like zapped by some sort of electric current as it fluffs up and falls to the ground stone dead. The other two explode in a plume of feathers. As several of the birds take flight and begin to fly back towards Kench Manor.
Oh, fuck. Well,
Alright.
now they definitely know.
They were looking right at us.
Then, shall we?
Asmo crawls out of his hiding place.
Crack, crack. Let's do this.
You guys begin to walk down the streets, or I guess up the hill, towards Kench Manor. Again, there doesn't seem to be a living soul on these damn streets. As the storm rages behind you, you walk past the gates of Kench Manor to the front of its facade as thunder crackles in the night. Lightning cracks behind the manor, giving it that luminous silhouette. It's as the people said, there appears to be no light on within Kench Manor, and an eerie, uneasy feeling clouds the back of your mind. And here's where we'll end today's session.
Damn it!